This lesson is on hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are items in a file that can link to another location within the same file, to another file completely, or to web pages, media objects, or to email recipients. In this worksheet, which is the Halifax branch report, I have totals for sales, cost, expenses, and income. I have a second sheet in this workbook that is the actual breakdown of these sales, cost, expenses, and income totals. It's called Halifax. I'm going to click on it so you can see it. I'm going to switch back over to January, which is my summary sheet. In this worksheet, I want to create a link that's going to link to Halifax so that any point when I'm working on the January worksheet, I can simply click on my link and it will take me to the Halifax worksheet. I'm going to click in a blank cell. That's where I'm going to insert my link. I'm going to go up to the Insert tab, and you'll notice a little bit more than halfway over is the Hyperlinks button. I'm just going to click on that, and then the Insert Hyperlink dialog box comes up. On the left-hand side is where you can tell Excel what you want to link to. You can link to an existing file or a web page, a place in this document, which is our workbook. You can even link to creating a new document or an email address. This link is going to be to another worksheet, so that's called a place in this document. You'll notice that immediately the dialog box changes. It asks you to type in the cell reference. That's any cell in the worksheet that you're linking to. And then you'll notice that it lists the worksheets in my workbook. So the one I want to link to is Halifax. At the top of the dialog box, there's a box that has text to display. Currently, it just says Halifax A1, which is the worksheet I'm linking to, and the cell address. If I'd like to display some text in the cell of the current worksheet, I can type it into this box. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to just call it link to the Halifax data. I can also include a screen tip. On the right-hand side of the dialog box is a little box called Screen Tip. That tip will appear when I move my mouse over the link. I'm going to click on Screen Tip, and it asks me to type in the screen tip. So let's just say, goes to Halifax. You can actually type any descriptive text in there that you want. I guess I should spell Halifax, right? There you go. And I'm going to click on OK. So I'll be linking to a place in this document to cell A1 in the Halifax worksheet. And then I'm going to click on OK. And there's my link. Notice that it is displayed in a different color, and it has the text that I typed in. When I move my mouse there, I'll get a pointy finger. Oh, and there's my little screen tip. It says goes to Halifax. To actually use the link, all I have to do is click on it, and it immediately moved me to the Halifax worksheet. I'm going to go back to January. Notice the color of the text has changed, indicating that I have already followed that link at least once. You may have noticed that in other programs or when you were surfing the web, when you followed a link, when you came back to that page, it displayed in a different color. I can reuse this link at any point. Notice the hand with a pointy finger indicating it's a link. I just click and I'm back to Halifax. So that's how you set up a link to a worksheet in the same workbook. But if you want to link to another workbook file, you're going to follow a similar procedure. I'm actually going to click in A6, which is just a blank cell, and I'm going to make sure I'm on the Insert tab, and I'm going to click on Hyperlink. This time I'm going to link to an existing workbook. And so that is not a place in this document. That's going to be our first choice here, existing file or web page. At the top, again, I have text to display. This is the text that will appear in the cell. And so I'm just going to type in something like pivot. Yeah, pivot. And then right below that it says look in, and you will see a folder there. There's an arrow on the right-hand side where you can click and tell it where you want to go. I am going to be referring to the folder called Other Data because that is where my pivot workbook is. And in the list that is below Other Data, I see Pivot. I'm going to click on it. At the very bottom here it says Address, and it has the name of Pivot, including its extension. I'm going to click on OK, and it's created the link. Remember, I typed in the text Pivot, and there it is. When I move my mouse there, I get the pointy finger on the hand indicating a link, and the tooltip or screen tip that comes up tells me exactly where the file is located. I'm going to click on it, and immediately it takes me to Pivot. It's actually opened an additional workbook, and I'm going to switch back over to my other workbook. It's taken me to Pivot. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize that to get back to my other workbook, and then I'm going to maximize that. Now, you may want to link to a website, and you can do that in Excel as well. All you have to do is know the name of the website that you want to go to. I'm going to start in a blank cell, A8. It's going to work fine for me. I'm going to make sure I'm on the Insert tab, and I'm going to click on Hyperlinks. Under the Link To section on the left, it says Existing File or Web Page. So I'm going to stick with that. And in the text to display, I'm just going to click and I'm going to type what I want it to say in the cell. And I think I'm going to call it KnowledgeCity. That's where I'll be linking to. And then you'll see the look-in, but I'm not really interested in a folder or a file. This time I'm interested in a web page. So I'm going to just go all the way down to the bottom where the address is, the address box. And I'm going to be typing in the name of the web page address. If I didn't know the name of the web page, I can use the Browse button to browse the web, to look up the name of the web page, and then fill it in. I'm going to type the www.knowledgecity.com. And hopefully I spelled it right. And I'm going to click on OK. And I've established the link. Once again, when I move my mouse to that cell, I see the hand with the pointy finger. And all I have to do to link to the KnowledgeCity website is just click on that link. Of course, I do have to have access to the internet at this point. You'll notice it brings up an additional window, and I'm on the KnowledgeCity website. You can link to any website. I'm going to go ahead and close that out by clicking on the X. From anywhere in the Excel worksheet. And that's how easy it is to do hyperlinks in Excel.